Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little news rundown, latest update for all the goings on at Manchester United, guys. What's happening, dudes? Bit of a quiet weekend, of course, for United after we got that victory, just in terms of the latest news and goings on, but we'll cover all what there is right now in this video, you bunch of bloody legends. Shout out to the mighty Bacon Brigade, the Hamada, getting in here. How you all doing this evening, guys? Let's have a look and see who's aboard the Bacon Express. We have got, shout out to all of you, but Matthew Smith, Randon, Fire Up, Red, United Devil, let's go. Duncan Belifo, Matthew Smith, CR7's getting in here. Get out. Just kidding there. Matthew Smith, what's happening? Compost Smurf, hello, hello. The Cake Cadet, great to see you, boss. Randon, UTD, the Vutinator, Bell6891, Big Vengs, how you doing there, sir? Compost Smurf, Fire Up, Wizzy Sam, United Trustable Source, great to see you also. What's happening? Jay Garth, get in there. Pete Morris, Gav Dog, Nathan Harris, and everybody else as well. And all those not sitting on a cushion. What's going on, peeps? I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining aboard the Bacon Express. Do us a favour at the start of this stream. Give us a massive like button smash. Smash that like on it. You know it makes sense and you know it's good. So please do give us a thumbs up. It's free. It boosts us up there. And share it around on social media if you're that way inclined. Also, if you're on the social medias, give it a cheeky little share. We've pinned the tweet to the top of the live chat. So if you want to go give us a share on Twitter, you can just click that link and click retweet. And we will give you a shout out towards the end of the show as well. Thank you, Mark Nurse. He says, like Spike. Appreciate you, bro. Let's go. Right, guys, so thanks for joining aboard the Bacon Express. Audio Mark and Lewis and everybody else as well. Sorry if I'm not mentioning you there, but there's a lot of you legends getting in here. Shout out to you all, though. So we're here to cover the latest United news. Obviously, United did win and smash up those toffee melts at the weekend. Happy days. Good result, good positive display. Best one for a while, in fact, because we've been guff. But that was very, very decent and dominant, and we smashed up those toffee melts and completely made them unstuck. Didn't we? So really good performance, really good game. We're not here to talk about that, though. We're here to talk about the latest news of United, which is there's a little bit more movement in terms of the Qatari business, or maybe not the Qatari business, but the potential takeover of Manchester United. Then the news really is that there's just not really that much news. You know, that's the news really, guys. Let's have a look. So there's a growing frustration, growing among bidders, apparently because there's not been too much movement going on at the football club in regards to making decisions in regards to the potential bids that are on the table. There's also, still no word back since second bids. This is the latest update. Money is supposedly ready to go for transfers, though. So that's what we've got in terms of the latest goings on. And there is just a big sense that things are being drawn out here. There's a big level of frustration taking place from the potential bidders here because of how slow the process is. Can we just get a cheeky little hashtag Glazers out in the live chat? Never forget these parasites, these blood-sucking leeches, these fucking cancerous worms, these toads, these complete bloody mosquitoes of men are still here sucking the lifeblood out of Manchester United, guys. And until they're gone, we won't be able to progress properly, especially when you consider that the summer transfer window is actually coming up very, very soon. And we need these toe rags out by then so we can start to move on as a football club, so we can start to improve all different areas of the club and go out there and sign some baller players in the summer, which won't happen if these parasites stay at the football club. It just won't happen. So we've got to hope that this all gets wrapped up reasonably soon. But yes, there's those in the hunt for United are becoming increasingly frustrated, having not received an update since filing second bids more than 2 weeks ago. It's been very slow, hasn't it, guys? We're expecting a bit more movement. Really, what this all comes down to is the Glazer shithouse leechers wanting to suck as much money out as they possibly can, and they're prepared to wait. They're prepared to let these guys stew. They're prepared to just see who might cough up with a little bit of extra readies to sweeten the deal. That's my humble belief. They're in no rush to sell this football club. They just want the most maximum amount of cash, the most bang for buck that they can get. And so they're quite happy to just wait and play the waiting game, play the long game. Even if it was to, say, drag out into next season and completely impact Man United's season, they don't really give a shite. If it means they can get an extra couple of $100 million out of the deal, they will do that. So we've got to stay strong here, guys. We've got to shout loudly from the rooftops. Hashtag Glazers out! Parasite Prats out of this football club! Because things haven't slowed down from that front. We want these guys out. And, you know, until they're out, we're not going to get any better, I don't think. We're not going to progress properly. We need to get them out so we can start proper work. And so there is big frustration going from all different parties involved. You know, movement regarding the United Takeover is expected in the coming days, as per report this evening from Mike Keegan. You know, we've got to take it with a pinch of salt, but various different outlets reporting that hopefully in the coming days, there will be a little bit more movement from this deal. So we're hoping that the Glazers accept one of the candidates that have put in a bid already, i.e. Sir Jim Ratcliffe or Sheikh Jassim. You know, me personally, I've talked about this ad nauseam. I'm kind of bored about talking about it, but me personally, I'm not really that bothered about who we get. We just need to get those shithouse Glazers out. As long as the new owners are prepared to spend what we need and take us out of debt and actually run the club properly, so that all money that's generated from this football club, more or less, is going into the football club, and that we've got ambitions to improve the facilities and the stadium and every single aspect of the football club, which the Glazers currently do not want. But I'll ask the live chat, because we like to do this every few days, and see what you legends are saying. Who would you prefer to see take over Manchester United long term? Would it be Qatar, i.e. Sheikh Jassim? Would it be Qatar? Or would it be Sir Jim? Get your votes in the live chat. Let's see what you legends are saying. But yes, there are definitely, you know, definitely it's a growing frustration. There's just not really that much news, guys. There's a lot of different rubbish outlets reporting that, oh, you know, there'll be some movement soon and stuff like that. But we until it's actually happened, it's still just the same situation. There's bids on the table for Manchester United, and the Glazers haven't reached their decision yet. Qatar, says Yasir Wahid, and Mark Nurse. Drench me in oil, baby, says Red. Glazers to stay, says Craw. Sheikh Jassim, says Mark Nurse. Qatar, says Pete. Arab, says Slim Jim. Qatar, says Duncan. Qatar, says Colin. You'd rather keep the Glazers than Ratcliffe, says Big Wings. You what? But the Glazers have kept us in hundreds of millions of pounds worth of debt. In fact, the debt's only grown with the shithouse Glazers at this football club land. Cake says they have to go, Piggy. It's ridiculous. They clearly cannot afford the football club anymore. They have to go. Yeah, so our debts have risen at this football club, mate. You're right. I mean, they've just been dressed in the shop window for a long time, mate, and it's very frustrating. Chris Johnson Adventures, how you doing, my friend? Thank you for joining us and getting in here. By the way, we smashed 50 likes already on the stream. Appreciate you all. Can we hit 100 likes on the stream? Do us a favour, hit that like button if you're just joining us and getting in here. The Mustache says, beg for oil. Chris Johnson says, Qatar, please. No to Qatar, says Luke Cooper. Qatar, says FJT. Okay, fair enough. Well, hey, Of793 and everybody. Rush Mano, great to see you as well. Vutinator. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of, you know, mixed feelings, but most people are certainly looking for Qatari owners to give us that money, to give us that ability to compete with all the top clubs in the league that do have a lot of money. So, you know, that's really the latest, guys, is that there's not really that much going on. I'd love it if there was. Reports are that there's movement going to be in the next few days. I'd imagine that is true, because it's been a long time now since we've actually had any goings on in regards to this takeover. And we know that there's a couple of serious bids on the table. There's one or two things that's going to happen either, really, I suppose, is that the Glazers are going to essentially reject or soft reject these latest bids that have been handed to them, in which case there will be a third round of bidding, and it will take more time, and they'll try and squeeze as much money as they can get, or they'll accept one of these bids at some point very soon. You know, that's the idea. These bids have already been improved once, so they can't take the piss too much. I think they've pretty much going to get the maximum of what they got out of it by now anyway. You know, there's already been improved bids from the likes of Sir Jim and Qatar. So, you know, they can't expect to get too much more money out of the situation. So I think, yeah, we're just playing the waiting game now, where it's a case of, oh, are they going to accept a bid for this club, or are they going to reject them and ask for more money? I mean, I wouldn't put it beyond them to do that, because they're pure scum. And scum just wants to get a little bit more extra money. So it may well happen. But there are concerns, guys, growing concerns that Manchester United may not have new owners by the summer, in which case the transfer window will not be overseen by the new owners. That's the biggest concern we've all got. It's the 10th of April now. The end of the season's coming up in a matter of a couple of months, and Man United need to get these shithouses out by then, so that as soon as the season finishes, even before the transfer window opens, but even as soon as the season finishes, we've got new owners with a new clear direction, and we can absolutely try and, try and build for next season. Because obviously, with these guys in at the football club at the moment, the Glazers, there's not really any expectation that they're going to go and spend big in the summer, especially if they're looking to sell the club very soon. So, yeah, we're in a bit of a gash situation, guys. We're just sort of in limbo. we're waiting, we're playing the waiting game for a little bit more movement, and until that happens, no, we don't know what the Glazers are playing at, really. They're trying to play the waiting game to get a bit more cash. So, yes, hashtag Glazers out, guys. It's a disgrace. I mean, there is also reports coming out that there's a confidence that, you know, one of the two interested parties are confident they'll get the club. So, sale update here from my man, transfers_MUFC on Twitter. Man United, sale update. There's a confidence now that one of the two interested parties are confident they will get the club via the Muppeteers. So, that is reports with a pinch of salt. But there's even been reports that perhaps they have offered the Glazer family opportunities beyond Manchester United and this amount of money. You know, perhaps they would offer them, you know, investments within Qatar and things like that for the future. Just, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type situation. So, you know, this is all speculation, but in my opinion, it's possible that it can happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Chris Koo says we've got bufferation issues. Oh no. Ah, what a nightmare, guys. Internet is guff, mate. What's going on with the internet again? Is it really? Fucking nightmare, guys. What a nightmare. Oh, goodness me, guys. What a nightmare. Right, okay. Well, that's shite. Sorry about that, guys. Hopefully we're coming through okay. We've been having some technical issues recently in general with that. Nightmare, guys. Hopefully, yes, give it a refresh if you can, and hopefully it'll be all right. Thank you, Eddie. He says 68 likes. Keep hitting it to help Piggo's Wi-Fi. Thank you, Eddie's Football Waffle. Yes, mate. We all know that thumbs ups on YouTube sorts my bandwidth out. So please do hit that like button on the video if you haven't done so. I love it, lad. Nice one. Thank you very, very much there. Okay. So, you know, I'd love to give you more updates, guys. Here's a bit more from Fabrizio Romano. It says, it seems quiet in the public side, but things are happening at United behind the scenes. It's up to the Glazers now. Qatar are convinced their bid is the best. So that's really, you know, it's old news, really, but it's the latest we've got from Fabrizio Romano to suggest that it's just quiet in terms of the public. Of course, there will be decisions being made and conversations being had behind the scenes about this to try and figure this out. But as of right now, there just isn't that much positive, you know, extra progression that's taken place for this particular deal. There you go. It's gone again. Oh, my goodness me. Right. So, folks, that's the latest on the Qatar situation. It's an absolute jank fest. It's a nightmare. Let's get into the live chat before we move on. We've got other news to discuss this evening about Manchester United, but let's get into the live chat to hear your thoughts and opinions about anything we're discussing. And sorry if we're having technical difficulties here, but hopefully it'll be okay in a min. Just give it a cheeky little refresh if you want. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you for joining us, guys. United Devils says Glazers are going to ruin our summer like they ruin us always. Big concern, isn't there? So yes, as we've said, that they may not be a new buyer in for the transfer window. It would obviously be great if we could get somebody in before the season ends so that we can start planning for next season. That's the idea. Fat Chinese Gaming, hello, welcome in. Says hope you are well. Man United need new owners that really love the club, not just in it for the money. Says FCG. Yeah, I mean, is there really a true owner out there that loves the club? So supposedly Sheikh Jassim is a huge Manchester United fan. Supposedly some Jim Ratcliffe, when he was a kid, was a Man United fan, but he owns a different football club. He's also, you know, tried to purchase shithouse Chelsea in the past. So is he really that much of a United fan? I mean, I don't know about that. Sheikh Jassim is reportedly a huge Man United crazy man. So that's one positive. I think you're right. I mean, we want somebody that's got the best interest of the club at heart. We don't just want a soulless businessman to come in and own the football club. We've had that. We've had these Glazers, and they just care about making money and generating cash and using it as a cash cow. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It would be lovely to have that. Unfortunately, I don't think it exists personally. I mean, we had that Nokia billionaire the other day coming out saying that he was interested in buying a stake of the club, and as long as, you know, millions of other fans were prepared to chip in and all this sorts of stuff. But that's just sort of like cloud cuckoo land. It's not really that realistic. I think there's no real ideal candidate that existed by this football club. You just got to weigh out the pros and cons and see which one maybe might do the best. I mean, Qatar has a lot of pros because they're just rich as sin. Glazers wait until the summer is over to make you wait longer. Maybe, Craw, maybe. They're quite happy to wait for the cash and see, you know, how long it may take in order to just try and squeeze a bit more cash out the deal. So you're absolutely right. A true United fan wouldn't buy Chelsea, says Philip Chapman. No, that's absolutely right, bud. You're spot on there. I completely agree with you, to be fair. I mean, that's it. He shouldn't be going in for that if he actually wanted to do that. Hey, Jarvis Cocker, what's going on? He says, Pig Rashford most likely out for 2 to 6 weeks. groin injury. That's a bit vague, isn't it? Jarvis, 2 to 6 weeks. That's a bit vague, isn't it, my son? Yeah. Well, okay, I guess that means, best case scenario, 2 weeks. Worst case scenario, 6 weeks. But there is a little bit of, that's quite a range. We've got to wait for a bit more news on that, actually, from the likes of Ten Hag to see a proper update. But yeah, you're probably right there, Jarvis. From what he seemed like he had, a groin injury, a groin pull, a strain, whatever you want to say. It depends on the severity of it. So it could just be a couple of games that he's out, or it could be a lot longer than that. So you're absolutely right. Jarvis asked the question, though, how will Ten Hag set up the team to score goals? Well, I think Tony Martial's come back at the right time, as has Casemiro, as has Christian Eriksen. So we just got to hope that there'll be a balance that's restored there. Yes, we are losing out on our main match winner, our goal scorer this season, Mr. 27 goal a season, Rashford. But we've got other talents to come back in. Christian Eriksen hopefully create more. Casemiro is going to provide us that solid base in midfield to play better and win games easier. So we just got to hope that, Martial coming back into the side is going to get in there ahead of Weghorst, I think, now that Rashford's injured. So you consider that, you take that into consideration. I think that we'll be okay. It's obviously a big loss if Rashford's out for even one game, especially considering we've got the Europa League to progress through, which is a nightmare game to not have Rashford for. We were going to struggle a little bit, but I think we'll be okay because, as I mentioned, we got Casemiro coming back aside, Eriksen, Martial, etc., all coming back. So I am not too concerned about it personally. I'm gutted that Rashford's injured, but I think we've got other players coming back into the team just at the right time. Mark Coughlin, hopefully these guys, somebody will come in and fix Old Trafford soon properly. Absolutely. Your gut's telling me the Glazers are just fishing to see a valuation, Richard. Thoughts? Yeah, they've already had 1 round of bidding. They've already had 2 rounds of bidding. So these guys have put their offers on the table. They could quite easily just turn around and say, no cigar. Sorry, we've decided we want a bit more. These offers are not quite up to the standard. This is what we wanted, 6 billion. You've offered 5.25. You've offered 5.3. Whatever it may be, we want more, and we're holding on to it until we get what we want. They may well do that, boss, and it wouldn't surprise me. They just trying to squeeze the money out of whoever may potentially be buying the football club. So there might actually be a 3rd round of bidding. Lots and lots of reports to say that there will be a 3rd round of bidding potentially. So we've got to wait and see if that happens. So a few things can happen. There could be another round of bidding if the Glazers are not happy with the bids on the table. And also they may just accept an offer if they're happy with the offers that are on the table. But we don't know that obviously at the moment. It's behind the scenes. Yep, Sevilla and Forest will park the bus. We'd miss him for the semi-final versus Brighton versus Compost Smurf. Certainly he's a big miss, isn't he? Certainly he's a big miss. Yep, that's right, Rajat V, so they should be confident. Hey, Berber, what's going on, you absolute handsome legend? Get in there, good to see you, man. Thanks for joining us. United Trustable Source says, Pig Ratcliffe said he has split loyalties with Chelsea and United. Who needs somebody like that? Even if he hasn't said that, we know that he's tried to actually purchase Chelsea Football Club in the past, which is an immediate red flag. Which leads me to believe that, he's maybe not got the best interest at heart of the football club. If Sheikh just seems just like some crazy rich dude who loves Manchester United, that's better than, a skint counterpart who might have just bought any big football club if they were available. You know what I mean? So, yes, the Jim has some good things about him. He's a Salford lad. He's obviously a local boy. He's been very successful. He's super rich himself. But he owns a different football club, and also, he's tried to buy Chelsea in the past, mate. So that is a big red flag for me as well, yeah. Whereas Sheikh Jassim, if he loves United like all the reports say, and he's got all this hundreds of billions backing behind him, then I don't really see how that could be a bad thing for the football club. So I am leaning towards the Sheikh. Shake your ass, baby! Get over here! Compost says they can't just be doing this to get a valuation. They announce they're looking at investment or a sale. One will happen. Oh, yeah, no, they're not just doing it to get valuation, but I think they're taking their time to get extra value, meaning they're trying to squeeze a bit more out of the football club. The longer they make people sweat and wait, the more likely it is that perhaps there may be some sort of an improved offer, and we don't know the dialogue between them, do we? That's all going on behind closed doors with the Rain Group and Sheikh Jassim's mob and Sir Jim's lot. This is all going on behind closed doors. Or maybe it's not. Maybe there has just been complete radio silence for the last couple of weeks, which is why there's a growing frustration. But look, I'm sure things will resolve very soon. We just hope that it's a few days, at the very most a few weeks, but certainly not a few months. We don't want to see this situation still the same in 3 months' time when the season's finished and we need new owners in to buy us players. Brad Wright says, I would just love a few years of what PSG and City have had. Get us a crazy team to watch, says Brad Wright. Yeah, more so, I hear what you're saying, Brad Wright, but PSG, I mean, they might not even win their own league, mate. They're a bunch of fucking shamble merchants, aren't they? They spent all that money. I know what you're saying. Assemble a Galactico team of players. Yeah, that would be lovely. That's what we want to see as well. But United still has that blueprint and identity that we should be producing our own talents. So I don't want us to just go and do what PSG did or go and do what City did. We want to be able to go and get the players that we need, but we also want to keep that Manchester United identity of producing our own talents and all that sort of stuff as well. So we are different to those football clubs, to be fair, and we should respect our history and respect our traditions. So yes and no. I want to see us go out there and be able to spend and not lose out on any players and have that level of power in the transfer market that we should have. But I also do want to keep to the traditions of Manchester United producing our own awesome talents, etc. T Mills has agreed, Pig. The fact that Jim wanted to buy Chelsea doesn't sit well with me. Yeah, no, screw that guy. You know what I mean? Who needs a blue scummer in here, mate? Nobody. Vincent Bullock, hello, bro. He says, yes, but Sir Jim's done that as a businessman. Remember, Doc Brown was a scientist. You have to think with his head instead of his heart because he could have changed history. Great Scott, 1.21 gigawatts. Vincent Bullock, I hear you, but, essentially, we don't want another businessman, though, really. We do want somebody that this is a passion project for. I'd rather have somebody like, I know this is probably a bad example because essentially he was an oligarch in Putin's back pocket, but, with dodgy money, just overinflating Chelsea and turning them from a Gash Cup team to winners. But Roman Abramovich type sugar daddy situation where he clearly just loves the whole thrill of following the club, of getting invested in the club, of trying to get that club to be successful and win everything. That's the sort of owner that we want compared to just another shithouse businessman who wants to try and make money. I don't want a businessman running this football club anymore. So in a way, Sir Jim's kind of a little bit disappointing with his whole vibe. He's a bit more skint. He's probably going to have less ambitions than the Qataris. And like we just said, he's got those links with other clubs and all that kind of stuff as well. It would be disgusting to see him take over the football club and then us just be Glazer 2.0 situation. Also, remember that the Glazers own 69% of this football club. And there's an understanding that the Qataris want all of the football club. And Sir Jim just wants to buy out the Glazers. I mean, we don't know that for sure. We haven't seen these business proposals. We haven't seen these bids in their entirety. But there is an understanding that the Qataris want to get 100% of the pie, which means that, there is a level of investment going on there. Mark Nurse, thank you for your comment. He says, why are fans so caught up with other clubs? We are United. We are working our way back to the pinnacle, one step at a time. We will do it in our own way. Yeah, definitely. I mean, look at what Ten Hag's done this season without the Glazers' proper backing and up against the Glazers and with this sort of cloud of what is going on hanging over his head in regards to the new owners. He was asked about it the other day if, this situation is making it harder for him at all. And he just said, no, he doesn't really get involved with any of that. It's not really his area. He's just here to coach the team and that stuff will all take care of itself, basically. So, but we are definitely getting better. We are definitely progressing under Ten Hag. United Devil says, I don't like all this rubbish about Pep better than Fergie. These opposition fans trying to spread Pep better than Fergie. I ain't having none of it. United Devil, right? There's some idiot twats out there, isn't there? There is. Anybody who thinks that Sir Alex Ferguson is not better than Pep Guardiola, baldy Pep, is just a blue scummer. There you go. They're just a City scummer in disguise. I mean, Pep Guardiola was spoon-fed a ridiculous team involving Xavi, Iniesta, Lionel Messi and these guys over at Barcelona. Yes, he sort of did revolutionise football with his horrible style of football, i.e. nullifying, boring the opposition to death with possession guff. So, just absolutely turning opposition teams into zombies because they're so bored. As much as they were awesome teams back in the day, especially that Barca team that he managed, it was an insane team. They had a ridiculous set of players, but they weren't the most enthralling team in the world to watch, in my opinion. They weren't the most entertaining. They were a bunch of boring bastards, mate. They would nullify you into submission. So, okay, that is one style, and everybody had to change their style because of Pep's boring bastard play. But there's nothing exciting about that team, if you ask me. Now, you might disagree with me because their players were insane. They scored a lot of goals still. But the actual premise of their football was just nullifying. I hated it, to be honest. I hated it. Sir Alex rebuilt teams. Sir Alex, came in the 80s when United were absolutely guff, and it took years to get this team to win things. And then we were winning things by the bucket load, and then he's rebuilt teams and rebuilt teams. You can't even compare, in my opinion. Sir Alex is the GOAT, as far as I'm concerned. His trophy haul speaks for itself. Yes, Pep's a very fantastic manager as well. You've got to give credit where credit's due. But he's always had the best of the best of the best of the best. Sir Alex did it at Aberdeen. He's won European trophies with Pig in Aberdeen. When's the last time you saw Aberdeen do anything? Well, then, it doesn't happen. That's how majestic he was. I'd love to see Pep go and take Inverness County Thistle over and get them to win a European trophy without sucking on the teat from Barca or Bayern or City or some other club that's feeding him. It's like all these teams that he's managed, the Bayern side, the City side, he's always had the best of the best of the best. So, the difference is that he's been able to get around the track in the most shiniest, souped-up F1 car, and Sir Alex had to do it in a free-wheel van to begin with. And then he had to keep reproducing and keep getting better and evolving all the time. So, in my opinion, it's just a redundant point. It's like that shithouse Jamie Carragher, for Pete's sake, who's got the sheer audacity and the nerve, even after the gastastic performances that Virgil van Dijk has been putting in over at Liverpool, to somehow suggest that he's better than Nemanja Vidic. What a shambles. I mean, how many trophies has Vidic got? 5 Premier League titles, all the rest of the trophies he's got, all of the accolades, the first defender to win Player of the Season, the first defender to win 2 bloody Players of the Season. This is the sort of guy we're talking about, Nemanja. Virgil van Dijk is just a couple of season wonder. Yes, he had a great couple of seasons. Look at his recent performances. He's a shambles. So I don't listen to these dickheads, to be honest with you, man. I've got to be honest. I don't listen with these dickheads. As far as I'm concerned, that's what they are. They just say stuff for reaction. Does Carragher, deep down in his heart, really think that Virgil van Dijk's better than Vidic? If he does, then he doesn't know football. He's saying that if you think that Vidic is a better player than Van Dijk, then you don't know football. No, I'm telling you, you don't know football, Jamie. He probably puts himself in a World 11 ahead of fucking Maldini or something this tossed part. He's in Egypt, my friend. Anyway, so it winds me up, guys, something rotten. It really does. Hey, Sphinxu, thank you for becoming a member of the channel, my friend. Guys, can we get your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji in there? Guys, who's better? Who's better, Vidic or Virgil van Dijk? Who's actually better? Let me know. Anyway, Sphinxu, thank you very much for becoming a member of the channel again, lad. Let's get your favourite Bacon Brigade emoji in there to welcome in Sphinxu. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Compost Mercers, Vidic went out on top. Van Dijk is sneaking out the knee right now. As I've said many times, and I've been saying this for years, actually, 1 or 2 great seasons doesn't define you as a great player. You can look at Wes Morgan and go, oh, that season he had with Leicester was unbelievable. As far as I'm concerned, that's Van Dijk-esque. You can say, Demba Ba. Is Demba Ba one of the greatest Premier League strikers in history? Is Michu one of the greatest Premier League strikers in history? No. I mean, the streets will never forget those guys because they had amazing seasons. They had 1 or 2 amazing seasons, but that's it. That's not 10 amazing seasons like Wayne Rooney or Paul Scholes or Giggsy, even more than 10, these guys. It's not like that. So there's levels to this game. There's consistency, there's legendary status, and then there's a couple of good seasons. And I'm sorry, but Virgil van Dijk lies in that second category, which is the couple of good seasons category, until he proves us otherwise, which he isn't doing. He's only proven that he's gash. Sphinxu, thank you for your super chat as well, bro. I appreciate that, boss. Thank you so much. He says, I just want the Glazers out and an end to these melts. Love that, Sphinxu. Thank you so much. Me too. I really do as well. Come on, let's get a hell yeah in the live chat for Sphinxu's super chat there. He's just spot on, lad. Loads of people saying Vidic is better in the live chat. I know this is a United channel, but, come on. I think even a lot of the neutrals or even a lot of the rivals would have to look at how Virgil's buckling at the moment under pressure and how Vidic and Rio and these guys did it consistently for a very long amount of time. Thank you, Grego. I appreciate you, my son. Sphinx says, no comparison. Why are they comparing that Dutch prick to Vidic? It's just that Jamie Carragher mug, isn't it? He thinks he's actually legit. I don't know. I mean, Carragher was a shit player, mate. There you go. I said it. He was slow as fuck. He was all spit and no substance. He was good. But it's like, hang on a sec, are you going to get in any sort of England team ahead of the likes of Rio and Terry and these guys? Fuck no. He's like, he couldn't hold their bloody jockstrap, really, those guys. So, Carragher, his opinion is moot anyway, as far as I'm concerned. Jack Bailey, what's going on, you legend? How you doing? But it's so annoying when you hear people like that say stuff just because he's a Liverpool scummer. Look, we know why he's saying it. He's saying it, A, to get reaction, B, because he's a scummer. Because he's a scummer, mate. That's why, and so he's back in his corner. Fair enough. Fair enough, he's back in his corner, but it still pisses me off that he could even besmirch the good name of Nemanja Vidic, who's twice the player and had twice the career of Virgil van Dijk. Oh, it's annoying. Yeah, that's right, Kate. Vidic was an absolute beast. Yeah, there you go. Thank you very much, United Devil. He says, this channel gets me pumped up. Well, we just voice our opinions, man. We just voice our opinions and we give you the platform to voice yours. We got 140 legends watching, guys. Let's see if we can get 140 likes. We've smashed 100 likes. Thanks, everyone, for hitting the like button. Please do continue to hit that thumbs up button. It will help spread the word of the channel out there. It's free to like, so smash that like and help us boost up there on the algorithm. Nice one. Make the most of it. Says, we were blessed to have Vidic alongside Rolls-Royce Rio. Regards to you, Pig. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, lad. Top man. Hector Smith says, Van pummeled Balotelli and Micah like nothing. Says, Hector Smith, yeah, spot on, lad. Wasn't the long, again, Carra was saying he would get in the Liverpool team over Virgil van Dijk. Did he say that, STB Mitchell? I mean, that's shambolic, to be fair. I mean, Yap Stam slaps Van Dijk about as well, absolutely. Dude, I mean, in terms of consistency, in terms of levels, you can name 5 or 6 Man United defenders, centre-backs, that are better than Van Dijk. And in terms of all the best potential centre-backs that have been in the Premier League, there's at least a dozen that I would consider to be better than Van Dijk. And I'm not even joking either. Tony Adams, Sol Campbell, Vincent Kompany, Alien Head even. It's John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, Ledley King when he wasn't injured. There's a bunch that are fucking fantastic that, in my opinion, are way better than that, Mel. He's not proven anything. 1 or 2 good seasons doesn't define you as one of the league's best ever. Sorry to say. Exactly, Sheikh Bin Burberry says, what next? Jota better than King Eric? Precisely, absolutely ridiculous statements these guys are making. Gary Cooper, thank you so much for getting in here and becoming a member of the channel. Everyone, get your favourite emoji in there to welcome Gary Cooper. Thank you, Mr. Cooper, for supporting the channel. He's just become a sponsor. New member of the Bacon Brigade. Get in, Gary. Thank you, boss. Get me a hell yeah in the live chat immediately for Gary Cooper. Thanks very much for supporting the channel, mate. That's awesome of you. I really appreciate it. Nice one, lad. Even Richard Dunn is clear of Van Disney, says Hector Smith. Well, if we're going on achievements as well, which I don't think is fair to really go on, I don't define great players by what they've won, but it's a factor. So, because some great players weren't in winning teams, it doesn't make them necessarily not great players. But if you're going on what players have won, there's loads of players that are better than Van Dijk, and most of them are United players. Wes Brown, John O'Shea, these sorts of guys spring to mind, who have had plenty of involvement in big championship winning seasons, many more than that dickhead has. So, yeah, Jamie Carragher, way out of line. Anyway, thank you for mentioning that, but, it's just triggered me, guys. It's triggered me. It's absolutely triggered me. Even Henning Berg rivals Van Dijk, says, make the most of it. Love it. Yeah, man, absolutely. Carragher's a prat, says Hector Smith. Berber says, I knew the Scousers were thick, but bloody hell, Jamie, stick to your llama impression. Thank you, Jack Bailey. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, lad. Yeah, the Vutinator says the ex-skip rats are shitting themselves. See what's coming at Old Trafford, and they don't like it. There is a certain worry that's taking place from our rivals' fan base at the moment, isn't there? Yeah, they're in the mud. They're in 8th place. They're bottle jobbing it big time. Their manager's flopping around like a floppy cloppy jalopy, having a complete mare. And, they're trying to lash out. They're trying to clutch at straws and find something to try and, I don't know, have a go at us about, or something to try and make their own pitiful, meaningless, spit-filled lives meaningful. Don't know what it is, but, certainly that, and also that whole 7-Up thing, the fact that they're even still going on about that is a shambles. It just goes to show you how bad their season has been, that their only thing this season is to say, 7-Up trophy. What a gash bunch of merchants of gash. Holy Pickle, what's going on, lad? Thank you for joining us and getting in here. Exactly, Ratchet. It's to cover up Liverpool shit, yeah. I understand what he's doing. He's sticking up for his team. But, come on. You've got to take the rose-coloured glasses off at some point. You make yourself sound stupid. It's like, would I say that, Luke Chadwick is better than Steven Gerrard? Actually, I would, because he won a Premier League medal. But in reality, we know that obviously Gerrard was a great player, right? Just because he didn't win that medal. But it's just like, for the sake of saying it, just because it's your team. It's just silly, isn't it? It's just silly. Right, okay, I guess we better cover some of the latest news then, guys. Let's do this. So let's cover the latest little bits and pieces that we've got from the day's news for Man United very quickly. So if you're just joining us, and we were talking about the Glazers and the shithouses, and they're taking their time about this whole takeover, guys. They're not rushing and making a decision. They may well be trying to squeeze more money out of the potential bidders, but at the moment there's just not that much going on. But there is movement expected in the next few days. Hopefully, we'll have to wait and see. There could even be a third round of bidding. There's also been reports today, I don't know if you saw these, I take all these with a pinch of salt, that, you know, people in the hierarchy of Arsenal and different football clubs are trying to put a dampener on the Qatari bid for Manchester United because of, the fact that they have interests in PSG, and, even though there's subsidiaries going on from the Qatari government, all this sort of stuff, which means that it's a separate entity. So it's actually a different, obviously, Sheikh Jassim's group is that 9-2 group, which is obviously a separate entity to what the other group is, So it's like QSI and QIA and these different Qatari investment groups. It's a bit of a grey area, but they're all kicking up a stink because they know the writing's on the wall. They know that once Man United get that level of backing, and we have new owners like that we're basically going to be unstoppable. So they don't want us to be taken over by them. Absolutely not. And they're all just kicking up a massive fuss. So yeah, they don't want it. They don't want to see Man United bought by super rich, hundreds of billions of, pounds in the bank owners, do they? So, yeah, they will try and do what they can, but I don't think that's going to be much of a problem, to be fair. Because, as I say, Sheikh Jassim is acting as essentially a solo investor here, So it's not really the same. It's not really going to cause any big problems, I don't think. It's not really going to cause any big problems. But, yes, they don't want us to have those owners. Okay, let's get into the latest news in regards to Man United, other stuff we've got going on. As always, drop a like on it, hit the subscribe. We are going to have a big Q&A in a few moments' time, see what you legends are saying about anything we've discussed, anything on your mind. So stick around. But, okay, so look, latest Fabs just said it's quiet in the public in regards to what's going on behind the scenes at Manchester United. We'll have to wait and see. He also gave us an update on Amad Diallo. There's some quotes from Amad Diallo, who said, "I haven't shown my best for Manchester United yet, but I hope next season I can return and prove my talent. My dream is to play regular football at Manchester United, and it was a dream to join them. I love the club." So he was loaned out. He's by all accounts had a good season this season on loan, but we haven't seen the best of him at United. Guys, would you keep, sell, or loan out again Amad Diallo next season? Let's have a little vote on Amad. Me personally, I just don't really see how he gets in the team. Just being honest. We've got Pellistri coming through. Is Sancho going to be made to part ways with United? If not, then he's going to be in contention to playing on the wide positions. You've also got Anthony, who's Ten Hag's golden boy on the right. These are just the players on the right side. And then on the left side of the pitch, you've got Rashford, who's going to make that left wing spot his own, I think, next season once we've got a proper striker in. You've got, Martial still here who can play there. You've got Garnacho, who's a young prodigy coming through. I just don't really understand what happens with Amad Diallo. We spent 40 million quid on that guy, by the way. And he's a young lad still, and he's got bags of potential and abilities. But is he going to get the opportunities in the game time at Man United next season? I don't know. I'm not so sure. So I would probably say loan him out, or if there's an opportunity to, to maybe get a lot of the cash back that we've got that we can maybe invest in different areas, then maybe it would make sense to sell him. But I think loaning out actually makes the most sense yet again. And, to at least let him get game time and have development, because he's probably not going to get that as much at United. Diallo has been looking good at Sunderland, says Thugger07. Yeah, he has, he has. There's, by all accounts, he's done well. But in my opinion, he's just not going to get that much game time at United, unless we part ways with one of our more senior players, which I guess could happen, if Ten Hag wants to be ruthless and says, you know what, Jadon Sancho, you've had your time, lad, see you later on, son. But nobody's buying Jadon because he's on too much money. We've priced him out of the market with his salary, and we've paid a lot of money for. We're gonna try and develop him. We're not gonna just let him go. So I don't see how he gets in. Keep, says Dublin. You say loan, says Dave. Keep for now. We're short. Sell Elanga, says Compost Merv. Oh yeah, I forgot even about mentioning Elanga. Elanga's another one. Well, yeah, Elanga's not had a great season, but he's another one I think that we could certainly still develop. Vuti says keep or loan, do not sell. Another loan, says Pete Morris. Ahmad loan in the Premier League, says Rajat. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe that's the answer. Step up the level of competition. You're excited for Ahmed considering Sancho's lost it, says Hector Smith. Let him have pre-season tour at least. Yeah, I guess so, Commersworth. That's a good shout. See how he does in that. That's a great shout. Berber says we spent 40 million on Ahmad and 35 on Donny when Ollie wants Grealish for 70. No, absolute shambles, isn't it? That really didn't make sense, that Ahmad signing. We signed him and just haven't done anything with him at all. It's bizarre. Yes, Rashford is injured, Andrew Johns. Yeah, we don't have an exact time period of how long he'll be out for, but could be anywhere up to 6 weeks. Could be a couple of weeks. Let's hope it's not that serious. Fact Chinese Gamer says you would say sell as you don't need him. Yeah, that's right, Chris Koo. Sabitzer would be a lovely player to keep hold of, wouldn't he? I agree. Ahmad is a class act. He's growing, says Colin Ralph. Certainly, yes. I mean, we'll see. He's only been playing in the Championship. You know, we need somebody who's got more pedigree than that, but he could perhaps deserve chances. But is he going to get in there ahead of the other guys that also deserve chances? Charlie Anthony, thank you for getting in here with your super sticker, my friend. It is a spoiler alert. He says, spoiler alert. What are you spoiler alerting us for? Charlie Anthony, thank you so much for the super sticker there. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Guys, get a cheeky little hell yeah in the live chat for Charlie Anthony. Thanks so much for getting the super sticker in there, bud. Rushmano says we've got 123 likes. Get in. Keep hitting the likes button, guys. That's awesome. Thank you, guys, for helping us get there. Let's see if we can get 169. Beats Guy, how you doing, lad? It's Alex. He says, Pig, what do you think our chances are of winning more trophies this season? I think we could get at least one more. I'd say our chances are very good. Very good indeed. It's only really one hard team left in the FA Cup for us. You know, there's only one or two hard teams left in the Europa League. We're expected to get past Sevilla really on paper with the season they've had and where we're at. It's not guaranteed, but we're expected to get past them. They've got tough games, of course, after that. But I think we're the most likely team to win both of those tournaments, really. Just putting out there. Okay, maybe you could argue the FA Cup's more difficult because City are still left in that, aren't they? They're the only, the only other team that's really going to trouble us that much, I think. I think on paper, you know, I'm looking forward to a potential blockbuster final against Jose Mourinho's Roma in the Europa League. And, you know, it would be cool to have that final. I mean, yeah, it's going to be tough to win the FA Cup. But I think we could still do it on any day. You know, you look at that game in the final, it's a 50-50 game. Flick a coin. Depends who turns up and who plays the best and who wants it more. So I think we can win it. And the Europa League, you know, I think that's even more likely to win for us, to be honest. I'm going to say one. I think it'll be ridiculously hard for us to win both of them. But I'm going to say one more trophy. I think we win the Europa. Guys, how many trophies does Man United win for the remainder of the season? We've already got one, but I'm going to say we win one more. We need the Qataris ASAP, says Hunar. Spot on. Yes, you can get a shout out. Shout out to Foot Goal. How you doing there, Foot Goal? Thanks for getting in the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, though. Hit the likes on it as well. Garnacho and Anthony were a great combo, honestly, says Hector. Yeah, 100%. You know, 100%. Garnacho is a big loss for us recently being injured. He was actually showing us just what a great player he was, and hopefully his progression's not been halted too much. He's a great, great player. 2 says Dave in Dublin. 1 says Rajat. 3 says Foot Goal. 2 says Pete Morris. 1 says Dutch Christ. Richard Churchill says 2. Scooby says 0. We need to focus on top 4. Well, top 4, in my opinion, is going to be safe. We want to try and win a trophy now, don't we? We're still in 2 competitions, so why not, eh? Beats Guy says 1. Hunar says 2. It would be such a crazy season if Ten Hag was able to do a treble. Just the fact he's won the League Cup and could get us top 4 is immense. And if we can win one more out of those 2, either the FA Cup or the Europa League, I'll be absolutely mangasming all over the place in celebration of what an immense season it's been for Ten Hag's first year in charge. You know, you can't ask for much more than that. So, you know, but we've got to wait and see. It's not that realistic to expect us to win both of them, but you never know. Kate says, do we know how long Rashleigh's out for? There's no actual proper official update from the club, mate. Not at this moment. I mean, unless something's come out since then. No, there isn't. There's still going to be, obviously, Ten Hag will do a press conference before the Sevilla game, and he will give us an update, I'm sure, on how long he's expected to be out. But there's a lot of reports saying 2 weeks. There's some reports saying 6 weeks. You know, we've got to take it with a pinch of salt. We'll wait and see how long. Hopefully it's the former, not the latter, in regards to how long he'll be out for. We need him back firing as soon as possible. Yeah, without Rashford, says 0793. Well, okay, there's a caveat there, isn't there? Without Rashford, we're not as good a team. But if he's only out for a couple of games, it's not too much of a huge problem. If he's out for the rest of the season, then yes, it's a nightmare. But we still have Casemiro, we still have Eriksen, we still have Martial, who have all come back at the right time now, who are going to make us a better team anyway. Think about it. I mean, in a way, You could argue we're a better team with Casemiro and Eriksen in the midfield and no Rashford up top than Rashford up top and no Casemiro and Eriksen. So, you know, it's not as clear-cut as, oh, well, we've lost our goal scorer. He is our goal scorer and we will miss him. But we've actually improved ourselves by having Casemiro, who's the cog in midfield that makes things tick, and Eriksen, who's just as important as well. So once those guys are back in there firing, we'll probably be a better team, you know, than even just having Rashford up there with McTominay and Sabitzer in there. No disrespect to those guys. They've been doing a good job recently. But they're no Casemiro or Eriksen, in my opinion. Not yet, Chris Koo. No, not yet, lad. Thank you, Mark Egan. I appreciate you, lad. Beats Guy says, Ahmad and Anthony compete for right wing next season. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, what's happening with Jadon Sancho then? And Pellistri and Alanga and Garnacho? You know, what's happening with all those guys? Some of them will be fighting it out on the left. Some of them will be fighting out on the right. But there's not enough places to go around. They're not going to get all get game time. So somebody's going to have to leave. Somebody's going to have to go out on loan, or somebody's going to have to be sold. I don't understand how they can't all have that game time at Manchester United. You do need squad depth. You do need to be able to compete in all these different tournaments. Of course you do. But, you know, some of these players are going to get super frustrated by not getting game time. So somebody's got to go out on loan, whether that's Pellistri, I mean, he's only a young 18-year-old lad, whether it's Amad Diallo again, Elanga, somebody's going to have to go out on loan, or multiple players. Or somebody's going to have to be sold. Super chat. Thank you very much, Zayn Miassi, for getting in here with your $4.99 super chat, lad. Let's all laugh at Zayn Miassi because Arsenal are a bunch of Billy Bottle jobs, and they're probably not going to win the league now. I mean, I want you to beat City, to be fair, but, you know, what a bunch of bottle jobs Arsenal Hollands are, mate. I'm pissed off for you, Zayn. 2-0 up at Anfield, and you still managed to find a way to absolutely screw it up. In the end, it's only Ramsdale putting in a man-of-the-match performance which has stopped you from bottling the game entirely, lad. Proper Arsenal Hollands classic bottle job, my son. Zamiassi says, Pig, will United win the league before Avatar 3 and 4, says Zamiassi. Not this again, Zamiassi. Why are you always going on about bloody Avatar movies in here for, lad? I'll tell you what it is. It's because you live in a fantasy world, mate. That's what it is. That's why. Everybody knows in the chat, Zamiassi is obsessed with Salt Bay's restaurant and eating gold flake steaks. He's also obsessed with playing World of Warcraft. He's always banging on about saying, oh, I've just done 6 hours on World of Warcraft. Now he's coming here talking about fucking blue cartoon characters, mate. You know what I mean? This is what he does. He's a fantasist, is Zamiassi, lad. Look, we will win the league. Okay, this year, Arsenal have got a chance of winning the league. I'm going to say this now, and you can bet me if you want, Zamiassi. Not that you will, but you can bet me on this.
Get in there, my son.
Manchester United, after this season, because Arsenal might win it this season, United not there. After this season, Man United will win the Premier League before Arsenal do again, if you win it again, right? We will win the Premier League after this season's finished. We will win the Premier League sooner than your mob. I'm calling it now. Smash a 1 if you agree with me. Smash a 2 if you think I'm delusional. But honestly, after this season, I think with the owners we've got potentially coming in, and with the right manager Ten Hag at the wheel, I don't see you winning the league again ahead of us before we do. No, I don't. So yes, to answer your question, yes, I do think Man United win the league before them. Look at all these ones coming in the live chat. Yes, mate. People agree. Arsenal have had a tremendous season. You know, it's the first time in 20 years they've had a proper go of trying to win the league here. And they still might bottle it. They still might not be able to do it. And even if they do it, it's like they'll be spluttering and stuttering over the line. It won't be the most convincing of fashions of winning the Premier League, if you ask me. No. So, it's, you know, it's not even in your hands anymore, to be fair. You've bottled it. You have bottled it. I'm talking 100% fact, says Rajat V. There you go. So I do believe with the right people in charge, coming in the summer with the right direction, with Ten Hag at the wheel, we'll win it before you guys do after this season. Get in there. Gungshi, how you doing, you legend? Thank you for getting in here. United Devil says, we win in the Prem next year, Pig. You know we are. Well, maybe. I mean, next year might even be too soon in itself. Depends what sort of summer we have. It depends if the owners come in soon. There's a lot of factors. Ten Hag has been here for a while and he's shown a lot of great development of the squad already. If you give him whoever he needs, if we have a mad season, a mad summer, go and get Osimhen, go and get Kane, go and get De Jong, go and get, Declan Rice, go and get a great centre-back, great right-back. Just go and spend hundreds of millions and go and do it the right way and get exactly who Ten Hag needs. I don't see why we couldn't challenge for the title next season. It might be asking a little bit too much too soon even then, but I don't see why we couldn't. He seems a very astute, tactically minded manager who might be able to, challenge the very for the very top, the top accolades next season if we've got the top squad to do it. But right now he doesn't have the squad to do it. But if we did have the squad to do it, I believe he could get us winning those things. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we could do it, mate. Craw says, I think you're overhyping United. You ain't even got a new owner. No mind saying you win the Prem. Listen, look, that's the reality though, Craw. We're not just some tin pot, gash-tastic city scummer, financial fair play dodging wank club that never won anything if it wasn't for billions of pounds being spent. Like you. We are a team that, even now, with the shackles we've got of our gash owners, are up there winning potential trebles this season, are still in the top 4, are still a top team, even though we haven't even got the squad capable of doing it, lad. Like, we're still managing to do it, even though we don't have the squad capable of doing it. Imagine if we had the riches at our disposal that Pep Fraudiola has. Imagine if we had 2 world-class players in every single position. Imagine if you could field a B team that's better than most people's A teams. Imagine if we had that. Imagine if Ten Hag had that at his disposal. We would be absolutely dominant. So yes, there's a few factors. There's a few ifs and buts and maybes. Do we get the right owners? Do they spend big? Do we have a crazy colossal summer in the transfer window? But if we do those things, you guys are going to get blown away, because nothing will stop Manchester United with the support we've got with the owners, if we've got the right owners, and with Ten Hag at the wheel, my son. Zayn Miassi, thank you very much for your super chat again. He says, if City and Newcastle buy well, you won't challenge for years. Plus, we have 200 million budget for the summer from Champions League money. Zayn Miassi, you've spunked your money over the last 2 seasons, lad. How did you spend 200 million every single season if it wasn't for bloody Champions League? You didn't have it then. You're talking guff, Zayn. Listen, if City buy well, fair enough. They're already up there. They've got Pep. We don't even know what's going on with City. Hopefully they get banned. Hopefully they get a 10-point deduction. Hopefully they get, some sort of punishment for their outright cheating that has already been founded. Right? And in regards to Newcastle United, what you're actually asking there, Zayn, you're saying that if United, with our credentials and our pedigree and everything, if we've got the same money or more than what the Saudis at Newcastle do, you're saying that Newcastle can best us next season. The only reason they're above us right now, the only reason they're having such a good season of it right now, is because, well, Eddie Howe's a very good manager, but also, we're not in that position yet. Once we're in that position, we will actually be able to overcome these big teams. Yes, if they buy well, they'll be a better team, but they don't have the credentials to win things, bud. It's ridiculous. I mean, Newcastle aren't going to win the league next season, bud. No way. No way. Thank you for your comment, though, saying Beats Guy says rivals are secretly shitting themselves because they know if we become Qatari-owned, the Premier League will become like the Bundesliga with United winning it every year. They're scared. Exactly. We've got the basis. We've got the foundation. We've got the support. We've got everything. The only thing we don't have is the financial power and the transfer worker to compete properly in every single aspect and behind the scenes as well. That's the only thing. We've spent big money on players, but we haven't gone the whole hog. If we were to go the whole hog and buy, if in the summer we should have gone and got a different striker, in the summer we should have gone and got another midfielder. So we always spend, but we don't spend to the full extent of what we should get. If we start to do that, we are going to blow people away. I completely agree. The rivals are shitting themselves, mate. The Vutinator, thank you for your tally. He says we got 145 likes on the stream. Thank you very much there, the Vutinator. Get in there, my son. Guys, hit the like button. Let's get 150. Thank you very much, Vuti. And Rushmano says subscribe to the channel. Yeah, guys, if you're new to the show, we're on here every single day giving you the latest updates in regards to United. So make sure you subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, you'll be a complete Moisey melter. Zamiassi, thank you for the super chat, mate. Again, he says, will you win the league before Resident Evil 9? You know what's funny, Zamiassi? What I want to ask you the question is, will you win the league while Resident Evil 4's out, mate? Which is the game that's just been remastered or re-released right now. Will you even win the league when that's out? Probably not, mate, because now you've fucked it in Liverpool, bud, and you've bottled it, lad. Do you know what I mean? You were tuning up and you've thrown it away. Classic Arsene Holland's bottle job, lad. You've knocked the glass bottle off the wall and it's shattered into a million pieces, lad. And now it's no longer in your pig in hand, Zamiassi, right? So, will you even win it while Resident Evil 4 Remastered is out, mate? Probably not. Probably not, bud. No. You're just going to end up like a bunch of fucking absolutely, muddered townspeople who have got some mad virus, bud. You know what I mean? Steady on, Zane. Steady on making jokes when you haven't even won jack shit yet. You know what I mean? It's early for you to... Zane Miassi's coming in here talking like they're clear at the top by 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. You're not, bud. You're not at all. You're 6 points clear. You've got a game ahead of City. They've got a game in hand. You still got to play those guys. They've got a better goal difference than you. Mate, you're fucked. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. City probably go on to win the league. They know how to do it. They've won 4 out of 5 in the last 5 years. You don't know how to do it, mate. Arteta doesn't know how to do it. Your team doesn't know how to do it. You still might do it. There's an outside chance stranger things have happened. Apparently it rained fucking frogs once in Belgium. You know what I mean? Things happen. It rained herring once somewhere as well, I heard. Crazy shit can go on in the world. So it's possible that, Arsenal win the league. But it's very unlikely, mate. I'm not going outside my house tomorrow expecting to have fucking trout fall on my head, bud. But I guess it could happen, mate. You know? Right. Thank you, Danny. Says biggest spot on. I appreciate you, Danny. Right. Let's cover the rest of the United news. Nobody cares about Arsene Hollands, bud. Right. Frimpong. Keen on Man United. This is what Fabio Romano said 7 hours ago. Jeremy Frimpong. Just add him to the list of many, many good players that Man United will perhaps be able to go out there and get in the summer if we've got new owners in here who want to try and challenge for things. Jeremy Frimpong. Keen on Manchester United possible move. Not advanced yet as his agent met with Man United, Bayern and Barcelona. But apparently he's keen on a United move. Interest in Frimpong doesn't change the situation of Diogo Dalot at this stage, as a new long contract talks are still ongoing. So, we've still got 2 right-backs at the club, Dalot, Wan-Bissaka. These guys are still there, neither of which are properly world-class. Perhaps you could argue that Wan-Bissaka is defensively world-class. I think he is. And his performance the other day, actually, going forward was dynamic, was fantastic. He's improving. Diogo Dalot's gone off the boil just a little bit. I still like him. I still rate him. He can play in left-back if you need him to as well, I suppose. But in my opinion, Wan-Bissaka's the one to keep out of those 2, and then Frimpong's really good going forward. He's got good assists, even good goals this season over in the Bundesliga. So if anybody's going to go, I guess it would be Dalot. Guys, who would you keep and who would you sell out of Wan-Bissaka and Dalot? Keep or sell Dalot? Me, if I have to choose one and I have to get rid of one, I keep Wan-Bissaka and I sell Dalot. I don't even know if we're going to sell either, to be fair. It's probably not going to happen, but in my opinion, I would probably make way of Dalot in order to keep Wan-Bissaka and then get a really good offensive wing back. Yeah, there you go. Beats Guy says sell Dalot, keep Wan-Bissaka. Sell Wan-Bissaka, says Red. Keep Dalot, says Rajat. Keep both, says Rocky Esposito. Yeah, maybe we could keep both. There you go. Zamiassi. Zamiassi's going in here and he's talking absolute guff. Zamiassi, what is the matter with you? Zamiassi's commented. Prince Harry, who supports Arsenal, his wife will give us luck. You what, mate? What's that got to do with anything, mate? His wife's a liar. There you go, I said it, mate. I don't want that kind of luck, Zane. Why do you want that type of luck, bud? His wife's a liar, mate. You know what I mean? His wife's sus, yeah? You can have your luck from Meghan Merkel, whatever her bloody name is. You know what I mean? You can have that luck as far as I'm concerned. It's not going to go that far. What a comment that is. I told you he lives in a fantasy world, mate. If Zane's not playing World of Warcraft or noshing off pictures of fucking blue avatar aliens, he's reading Hello Magazine, this guy. He lives in a fantasy world. He lives in a world that he thinks Arsenal and Arteta are actually going to win the Premier League this season. He's a fantasist, this guy. He's a lunatic, mate. He lives in a Salvador Dali painting, this man. You know what I mean? He's got clocks melting in his fucking room and stuff. He's off his tits. What's the matter with you, Zamiassi, man? I'm sorry, but that's a comment too far for me, mate. You what? I don't understand. I just don't understand. Oh, yeah, Pete's guy says I'd be signing Frimpong and another right back. Well, there you go. So I think we need 2 midfielders, 2 strikers, a centre back and a right back. If we're to have a perfect summer, that's sort of what we have to do. And I don't mean any old players either. I mean top draw players. Like, there's different combinations of players we could get, of course. So if you're going to, scrimp out and have somebody deputised for Casemiro, you could go and get that Palhinha from Fulham. He's a beast. You could get Declan Rice. And then you want somebody to do the job of a creator, to do the job of what Eriksen's doing as well and be more box to box and dictate things. So somebody like Frankie de Jong would be cool. Somebody like Bellingham can do a bit of everything would be cool. There's loads of options. Centre back position, you got that Jurriën Timber youngster that Ten Hag likes and rates and has had dealings with and worked with at Ajax. There's options there. So Man United definitely need to strengthen in all areas, but those are the key areas. Top class players is what we need. Vooty says keeper, centre-back, central midfielder, striker needed. See, I disagree with that, Vooty, but I know a lot of people don't like De Gea because of his distribution and stuff like that. But me personally, that's the last position we need to strengthen. He's not the problem at Manchester United, in my opinion. Yes, okay, Ten Hag's going to want us to play out from the back and play a certain way. And De Gea doesn't possess those world-class abilities to do that. But he does possess the shot-stopping abilities of an absolute cat. So I don't think that he's absolutely that much needed to replace. But let's have a look at this. Good segue there, Vutinator. Let's ask the chat, keep or sell David De Gea this summer. Remember, he's on £350,000 a week. He hasn't signed a new contract yet. Here's a bit of an update here. Shout out to transfers_UTD, aka Rush Mano on Twitter. Go and follow this Twitter page, guys. That's Rush's Twitter page, transfers_UTD, for fantastic daily updates on United. You don't want to miss it. This is all you need. He says, there's still no agreement with Manchester United and David De Gea over a new deal, but talks are going well. This is via Fabrizio Romano this evening. So that's really the latest situation with De Gea. You know, talks are going well. There's a belief that he might have to take a cut in pay in order to stay at Manchester United because nobody wants to pay a keeper $350,000. But I'll tell you something, if anybody's earned that amount of money at United over the years, it's him because he's saved us many times. Multiple Player of the Season awards. He's only really had one bad season out, or maybe two, out of all the 11 whatever odd seasons that he's been at Manchester United, this guy. He is definitely not a problem, if you ask me. But some people don't want him. Maybe he's not worth $350k a week. Is any goalkeeper worth $350k a week? But if they save you the amount of points that David De Gea has done historically for us, then I think that they are. What do you think we should pay David De Gea a week, guys? He's on $350k a week right now. Do you think he should settle for a lesser paycheck? Or do you think we should just give him what he's worth? Or give him what he's currently on? Let us know. I think he's worth it. I do. I think he's worth it. Just because he's not the best with his feet or the best at penalty stopping, those are only a couple of different aspects of the game, you know. $1, says Jamie Todd. 200k, says Kieran Kennedy. 300k, says Rocky Esposito. 200k, says T-Mill. 275k, says Jason the Cool Kid. Fair enough. Rocky Esposito, I'm with you though. I think that he's worth what he's getting. Sell him or number 2 goalkeeper, says Rushmano. 310, says Rajat. 275, says Pete. 300k, says Dublin Games. Berber says, I love De Gea, but he's worrying me again as long as the replacement isn't Henderson. Oh, yeah, good shout. That would be gash. 280k would be great, though, says Rajat. 380k and an ornate bong, says Dutch Christ. 350k, sorry. Yeah, well, look, he's on 350k now. Maybe he will sign a lesser deal. Just because he's getting on a little bit now. He's not actually in goalkeeper years. In goalkeeper years, he's still pretty young. But, it's a pretty hard sell to say 350k for a goalkeeper. But I don't think we should make him step back. I think he's good enough. I would keep him. He's not the problem at United, if you ask me. Yeah, okay, nice one. Also, just on other contract situation, let's talk about this. So, another update from Fab from 10 hours ago in regards to Rashford. 1 like away from 150, by the way, guys. Keep dropping the likes. He says Marcus Rashford was not happy with recent reports of crazy salary requests. He's understood to be really happy with how things are developing at United and feels that success is around the corner. New deal talks will continue soon. Rashford loves working under Ten Hag. And I guess he does. He scored 27 goals this season. Things have got better for him. He's come right back from the brink of leaving Manchester United to now being everybody's favourite player yet again because of his performances. He's undeniably the best player of United this season, I think. So, yeah, absolutely he needs to sign a new contract. There's lots of reports that, he's demanding 500 grand a week and all this guff. I don't believe it for a second. I think he will get a lot of money in his new contract because he's just at the right age. He's 25. There's going to be a host of clubs that would be wanting to take him if we don't do a deal with him, and they'll take him for free and they'll make him more higher paid than we will. He is committed and dedicated to United, though. I think he likes playing for Ten Hag. I think he likes playing for Manchester United. It's his team. He's bank, born and bred, all the rest of it. So for those reasons, I think he'll sign for 350k a week. 350k a week. What do you think, guys? 350k a week. Now, there's loads of reports saying 500k a week and all this rubbish. I don't think he will demand that much from Manchester United, no. He could get that elsewhere, though. Of course he could. Look at what PSG do with their model of signing players on free transfers and offering them the world up front in terms of signing on bonuses and wages. You know, somebody would be prepared to pay him more than us. But I think he's got that loyalty and I think he's got that love for Manchester United, which will make him sign that new contract. So I don't really think we have to worry about Rashford signing a new contract. He hasn't done it yet. I think he will sign, but I think we've got to make him very well paid. We've got to make him essentially the best paid player at the club. And he probably deserves that. Look at the season now. 27 goals. I don't think he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. I don't think he's playing like this just to get a new big contract, and as soon as he gets it, he's going to go back to being shit again. I don't think that's the case. Zamiasi, thank you for the super chat here, mate. He says, Piggy, there's a new Wallace and Gromit film coming. I told you, he's a piggin fantasist, this guy. He says, there's a new Wallace and Gromit film coming. Can you imagine Maguire as a character in that, and what role would he play? Zamiasi, I can imagine him as a character in it, mate. I'll tell you who he would play. He would play the block of Wensleydale cheese, mate. Do you know what I mean? Just a big slab of cheese that does nothing other than is just a prop. That's basically what's going on there. Get the cheese, Gromit, the cheese. You know what I mean? He would play a block of Wensleydale, mate. There you go. Off the top of my head, I think that's what he would play, lad. Yeah. Thank you, Zamiasi, for getting in here, you legend. But not any old block of cheese. I'm talking a big block of cheese. You remember the first Wallace and Gromit when they go to the moon? Yeah, they go to the moon, and it's called A Grand Day Out, the first one. They go to the moon, it's all made of cheese, and they're skiing down slopes of mountains made of cheese. You know, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a huge block of cheese, mate. Not just any old bit of cheese. I'm talking about a big bit. You know? Fetch the cheese, Gromit. So the moon basically then pick, yeah, but a squared version, Crisco. You know what I mean? Not the moon, but an object on the moon, maybe. Maybe they revisit the moon, and there's a big, large, cuboid sort of shape on there made of cheese. That's what I'm thinking about. Oh, my God. Anyway. Yeah, good one. We were talking The Simpsons yesterday, Zane. You would have loved it. Oh, definitely. Nah, Zane's always providing good quality stuff here. Is it good quality stuff? I like it. I like it a lot. Right, anyway, so guys, you know, we've got a lot of options in the summer for players coming and players signing. We have to wait and see what happens. There's no new De Gea deal right now. There's no new Rashford deal right now. There's no new Dalot deal right now. But all of these guys are expected to sign new deals very, very soon. So we will keep you up to date with exactly what's going on. And we'll also keep you up to date with exactly what's going on in regards to the takeover as and when it happens. But at the moment, still very little movement. Frustrations growing from the fan base and supposedly both parties who are interested in buying the club because of the slowness of this whole deal. Hey, Lucy Nicholas, how you doing? Yes, Prince Rupert, we're going to go over on the gaming channel now. So come and join us on the gaming channel, guys, for a bit of GTA Online. I can't really be asked to play, but I'm doing it because I said I would. So here is a GTA stream right here, guys. So come over here and support the stream by smashing the like on it. And if you want to hang out with us and watch the stream or even get involved and play with us, you can. So come over there and join us on the gaming channel. But that's going to be the end of this stream over here, guys. We've covered all the latest United news. Not that much going on. Bit of a slow news day. But there's the latest on the takeover. Not that much going on. And some of the latest bits and bobs from United. Thank you, everybody, for watching this stream tonight. You're a bunch of legends. Thank you, Rajat, Lucy, Prince Rupert, Big T, Rushmano. Thanks for all the updates throughout. Rajat, Gary Cooper, get in there, my son. Thanks for becoming a member. Chris Koo, Rushmano, Dublin Games, and everybody else as well. You know, thank you very much. I will check my Twitter there, Dublin Games, no problem. Oh, yeah, I want to shout out everyone who's retweeted my stream. Crikey, guys, I forgot about that. Everybody, thank you for retweeting my stream tonight. We've had 12 retweets. I want to say a big thank you to Transfers_UTD, Mr. Big, Hanel, Paul Nangle, United Hunar, The Butcher of Manchester, Stasi and Coretta, Berberspin, Ryan, aka The Gaming Sim, shout out to you, legend. Aaron Homeyard, get in there, my son. John Boy Cat, Andy Davidge, and The Real Bold Genius. Thank you all so much for help spreading the word of the show on Twitter. That is absolutely majestic. Really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Afif Shahari. Thank you, Gary, Chris, Rushy, Dublin, Simon, Red, Dutch Christ, United Devil, Tiger Woods, and everybody else as well. That's it from me. Make sure you smash that like button before you go. Hit the subscribe button over here. Click the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on all the social channels like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch at Flying Pig United. Check out the website, flyingpigunited.com, as well for your latest United news and all the latest goings on, etc. in text form. So you can read it on the toilet or whatnot. Nice one. Also, the gaming channel, Flying Pig Gaming, go search it up. I'll put a link in the chat as well to the GTA stream we're going to do. We're a little bit late. We're supposed to start 4 minutes ago, but it's all good. So come over there. We'll be on there soon. Give me 5 minutes and we'll be starting over there. come and hang out. See you in a bit, folks. Thanks for watching. Great stream as always. Great chat, great debate. Thanks to everyone for the super chats, i.e. Zane and a couple of other people, a couple of other legends. Thanks for getting in here. Thanks for the pure drivel from Zane Miassi. And thank you to everyone else for getting in. Simon Warner, Vutinator, Lewis Eraser, and everybody else as well. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. All the members, all the mods, thank you guys for supporting the show. Good night, God bless, but see you soon on the gaming channel in a moment. And remember, Piggy loves you. Also remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.